I've been passionately researching the physics of events. Mathematically, I've found that events can be considered primary and fundamental, but in truth, when you go to a larger system, when you think of volumes of masses concerned, events are emergent and very complicated mathematically. Causality is the principle that everything has a cause. I believe that there are more than one cause to events. Events occur due to many causes. It's mostly about momentum though. That's what we should consider most. Equations to events consist of very many components. Events do have definite locations in space and time. I found that entanglement exists, which means that there are two definite positions in space and time for the one event. This is for very minute things such as photons. I do not believe that the flow of time does emerge from a sequence of events. I believe that time can be measured by a sequence of events, like going round and round the clock or something. You know, that's how you measure time. But I think time is a misconception. Einstein was wrong about time. Reality in physics is not reality because it is incorrect. Many of the concepts of physics are incorrect. I've been doing very important independent mathematical research in physics for years because I just couldn't believe anything. From the age of 16, I told my teacher at 16 that general relativity was wrong, that variable velocity was what Einstein should have used. And from there, I've just added all the equations, a great amalgamation of equations that will be very, very useful because it can be input into computers or, you know, with special computer programs, and it will simplify physics for all the physicists around the world, all the students around the world, all the reality in physics is incorrect, mostly due to basic mistakes by Albert Einstein. He created basic mistakes in his ideas when creating special relativity. So right from the start, it was wrong. That led to mistakes in general relativity, and there were other mistakes in general relativity anyway. 100 years of research papers based on special relativity and general relativity are incorrect. That's more than 100 years of papers. Einstein led everyone astray. Einstein accepted reversibility of events with time. That was a major blunder. Why would he decide that? Maybe it simplified his mathematics. Irreversibility of events with time is correct. People all around the world, even when they got IQs 80 or something, they know that there's irreversibility of events with time. If they get married to a woman or a man, they're not going to get married to them again unless they're crazy. Einstein accepted constant velocity of light. But researchers have discovered that the velocity of light has varied very much during the universe's history. Therefore, the velocity of light is not a constant. The velocity of light is a variable. That was Einstein's second major blunder. Einstein created relative velocity equations that seem to simplify physics. Time is very important for comprehension of a dynamic system. Einstein, in fact, muddled himself intellectually and muddled many other people. That was a blunder, another blunder, third blunder. Not so significant, maybe. After more than 8,000 hours of effort as an unpaid, rejected intellectual, I have discovered that many of our theoretical physics concepts are incorrect. I've created better equations for almost everything in physics. My zero relativity is truly almost a complete unified field theory of physics. Zero relativity is beyond most physicists because a person needs an extremely high IQ to comprehend such a difficult amalgamation of concepts. Most physicists cannot do some of the mathematics involved. The conservation equations needed to be improved. Einstein's concept of the observer needed to be improved. I created a more elaborate observer situated at the centre of mass of the system. Is more appropriate than what Einstein used because it helped explain the twin paradox of special relativity. I created equations for variable velocity of light. I created equations for irreversibility of events with time, and I think that was very major. For irreversibility, I created a new geometry for physics. So it's not Einstein's four-dimensional geometry. It's a new geometry, a very sophisticated 3 dimensions. But I don't know if you call them 3 dimensions. I'm not sure yet. I improved Maxwell's equations. I improved Klein-Gordon equations. Well, I mathematically proved that entanglement actually exists. I've found the basic equations that lead to the Navier-Stokes equations. Since I had disagreed with my teacher about Einstein's general relativity when I was 16 years old, I've been doing very important individual mathematical research that has astounded physicists and left them totally shocked and wordless. Journals are scared to publish my findings. I desperately need money to promote my physics to other physicists around the world. I've tried very hard. I'm a pensioner. I've been rejected in Australian society by the physics and mathematics fraternity due to my ideas, and also by psychiatrists. Psychiatrists have put me on antipsychotics for more than 6 years of my life because I said that Einstein was wrong. You know, I definitely know, just for special relativity, 3 reasons why he blundered. But, you know, it's much more than that. It's the Maxwell's equations and stuff like that. But I've been considered an absolute nut. I have to get out of Australia or have some way of promoting my physics to people overseas. I need money for it, and Richard Norman has been very good in Mind magazine on the internet by putting my physics there, and I just think that I need people like his group, who they're geniuses, and I'm a genius also. But in Australia, I've been treated like an absolute idiot all my life because they couldn't comprehend what I was talking about. I do need the money to escape from just being this independent person, hiding away, rejected, to being a person who can communicate with the world's best physicists. Any money spent to help me promote my physics to top physicists will be extremely important. It will impact upon the whole of physics and a lot of mathematics and into engineering and stuff like that, because we'll be able to create programs that will have an amalgamation of equations as a unified field theory that solves problems for people very fast. It's a much better understanding of the universe than what Einstein has given to us. The intrinsic intellectual merit of my paper is that it will totally revolutionise physics. It will go right from basics, from Maxwell's equations and even geometry. They will all be improved so that we can understand the universe better than we can now. It's extremely important for that, and also for better functionality, for solving problems, to make things faster to be done around the earth by humans. The scientific riddle will mostly be within scientists' heads, because physicists have been brainwashed since they were in diapers that Einstein was absolutely correct about everything. Einstein led all the physicists on Earth astray with incorrect basic assumptions to his special relativity. My research is not just original, it's very radical. But all the radical aspects are based on what is necessary to create a unified field theory of physics. I'm not just a genius, I'm an extremely creative genius. And that's enabled me to be very creative in mathematics, like I am creative in poetry and painting and creating little videos. I'm very creative. I'm non-stop creative. Already I've drastically improved the geometry used by Einstein. This is very significant. It's also an amalgamation where all the other aspects of physics affect the geometry. It's just much, much more than the four-dimensional geometry of Albert Einstein. This research that I'm doing is already extremely successful and important. At present, the major thing is to get brilliant physicists to comprehend it, because I think they really need about IQ 170 or so to really understand it. My research will be extremely fruitful because it will open huge number of lines of endeavour to improve mathematics as far as relativity goes, the physics of relativity, all the papers based on relativity, unification of quantum physics and relativity. It's massive what it'll do. It's more than 100 years of masters and PhD papers around the world dealing with relativity aspects have to be rewritten. All of the physics textbooks have to be rewritten. Already I've made radical changes to Einstein's ideas about geometry and event. I intend to expand upon these ideas and to promote my existing ideas and new ideas. Qualifications often mean that you've been brainwashed. Since a very early age, I rejected Albert Einstein's ideas and thoroughly checked them for myself because I believed he was wrong. I must give him credit, he was absolutely a genius, but he was wrong in a lot of his rushed assumptions. I have a double major in mathematics from the University of Queensland, but what I've been is a person obsessed, or just more than 8,000 hours of thinking about these problems in physics that I just couldn't accept anything, and I've been extremely meticulous in going through it. You wouldn't believe the effort, and I think that accounts for much more than a PhD, because I think I've done about the equivalent of about more than 10 PhDs in working on this problem. And what I need is creative geniuses. That's what I need, and some thorough mathematicians. Mathematicians can boast about their qualifications, but when you actually ask them questions, they don't give answers. I actually give radical answers. My physics research has been an obsessive hobby. A hobby that has taken up a huge amount of my life. It's not for a future career. I'm already 60. This research is a great gift for the people of Earth. My physics research will boost physicists and mathematicians. It'll boost the practical men in professions such as engineering, but it'll also boost philosophers and poets and billions of people around the earth. It will be very exciting to go beyond Einstein. Theoretical physicists and the general public will be shocked and thrilled out of their minds by my research. Albert Einstein is considered more infallible than the Pope, who was considered infallible. My new geometry, giving the irreversibility equations, can be united with everything in physics.